My today's message is one verse of Quran is enough to save all Muslims from eternal death. Yes, the whole Muslim world can save himself by believing in one verse of Quran, which they don't believe. Yes, I'm going to prove that to you in this video. If they believe in that verse, yes, they can save themselves from eternal death. As you can see on your screen, the picture of hell and heaven. Hell is full with Muslims just because they don't believe in that verse, and their whole life, they speak against this verse. So this is my today's message. Today, if any truth seeker Muslim, after knowing and believing in this verse, can save himself or herself from eternal death. And to make better understanding, I have made 12 points, facts about this verse, which are clearly evident in this verse. And as per Quran 1094, Allah has ordered you to clear your doubts from me. Yes, who is reading Holy Bible, the previous scriptures. And after that, Allah said in that verse, you should not have any doubt. So let us come to that verse. This verse is in connection about the truth that God revealed to the father of believers, Abraham. Yes. When God ordered Abraham to sacrifice his son, and at the last moment, God revealed this verse, and this verse is Quran 37:107. Yes, and this verse saved the child of Abraham from death. I want all Christians to understand this, to remember this verse, memorize it, the wording of this verse, and the facts which are in this verse. Muslims, knowingly or unknowingly, intentionally or unintentionally, they speak against this verse, which is in their own Quran, and they are not willing to believe in this verse just because this verse proves Christian faith, Christian doctrine, the biblical doctrine, which is based on biblical facts. Yes, and some Muslims, especially their scholars, debaters, they spent their whole life in denial that God cannot give sacrifice. They deny always that God is not able to provide sacrifice. But this verse is saying yes, God can. And Allah is believing in this verse. Allah is telling this, that God can provide. And that is my first point about this verse. The first fact, that God is providing this. And we need to remember this. Quran 37:107. For this fact and truth, Allah is believing that. So Muslims, you should believe that too. And my second point about this verse is, the truth about this verse is, this is from heaven. The revelation in this verse is from heaven. The sacrifice described in this verse is from heaven. So Muslims, you cannot purchase any sacrifice from marketplace when you have a sacrifice atonement from heaven. And the verses with facts are in front of you. Please read those verses. My third point, the third fact, it is clear this is ransom payment. So Muslims never say, never again, that how God can pay. You always say that, how God can pay. But it is written in your book that God can pay. And what He is paying for? My point number 4. He is paying for death. To save one life, to save the child of Abraham from death, He is paying for that. He paid ransom for that. And point number 5 is that proves the love of God, His love for us. The proof of love is sacrifice. The height of love is sacrifice. And we know God is love. Al-Wadud. That is the proof of His love in this verse. Number 6. A body is prepared. The cleansed, pure, sinless, faultless body. Read this verse. Believe in this verse. Number 7. This is atonement. The body is prepared for atonement, which means at one-ment with God. So this verse, Quran 37:107, is telling you to turn one with God by believing in this verse and not speaking against this verse. Number 8, this verse is saying this is great sacrifice, the greatest sacrifice. There is no greater love that He has given His life to prove His love. This verse is saying great sacrifice. And the point number 9 is this is a substitute. Sacrifice, atonement, substitute for the whole world. And we know that after completing and providing this sacrifice to Abraham, when Abraham stopped and completed that, after that Abraham said that Lord is going to provide. The future tense. And Lord provided that. So that incident, we know God revealed His plan to His prophets through dreams, through revelations, through prophecies, and with that sometimes with the true incidents, so that they may know the plan of God. So this incident which happened with Abraham was a foreshadow of ultimate sacrifice of Jesus. God is revealing that to Abraham. That is why Abraham said in Genesis 22:14 that Lord is going to provide that ultimate sacrifice. Yes, and that sacrifice is a sign and picture perfected and completed through Jesus, and on same place. Yes, Mount Moriah and Mount Calvary are at the same place in Jerusalem. Now my point number 11 about this verse of Quran is, the truth about this verse is that this is about death in life, and then the redemption of death with life. And death we know is because of sin. And with this sacrifice, Lord has opened the door for a resurrection by defeating death. When Lord stopped Abraham, that was a resurrection for the child of Abraham. And my point number 12 is the priority of love, the preference of love. As Lord commanded us to love Him first, He loved us first. We are on His priority. You are on His priority. This is the bottom line. All points, facts are for your righteousness and sanctification. This whole plan of God, once and for all. Yes, this offering, this sacrifice, this atonement with the perfection and completion in Jesus Christ, the sacrifice and atonement of Jesus Christ, this is once and for all now. Please try to understand that. Yes. And now we do not need any more sacrifices. That one sacrifice from heaven, which was a foreshadow at the time of Abraham, now is completed in Jesus Christ, who came from heaven for this. And that is once and for all. Now we just need to remember that in our prayer, worship and praises. So Muslims, understand these 12 points about your own Quranic verse and believe in that and have salvation and save yourself and your family with this truth from eternal death. Yes, if you believe you are a child of Abraham, then this message is for you. Lord wants to save you from eternal death. The sacrifice at the time of Abraham was to save his one child. But this sacrifice which is in Jesus, that is for the whole, all children of Abraham and for the whole mankind who believes in that. So this one verse can save you from eternal death. So save your soul from hellfire and come to the good place where Jesus is waiting for you. Lord bless you all. Amen.